So guys, do you like dead topics? Like really dead topics? Really dead topics? Because we're covering one today. Meet Joshua Culvyhouse, someone who's infamous in the CC for making commentaries which are not good, to say the least, and for having the intelligence of a protozoan when discussing problems with his videos. Today, we will be taking a look at his commentary on Spirit Productions' commentary on MLP Reviews, aka his own commentary on Doodletones 2's review of some MLP movie. Let's get going.
Guitar shredding the latest tune. There is nothing you can do to beat me. I'm so good that you can defeat me. Yeah, I'm awesome.
Joshua Culvyhouse and awesome. Joshua Culvyhouse and good. That has got to be the joke of the millennia. And undefeatable? I mean, sure. If you want to label doing pointless response after pointless response to videos on you as undefeatable. But on a slightly more serious note, what is the point of this? Didn't you say you put effort into your intros? Is that what you call this? Effort? 45 seconds of footage of your avatar doing some shit and then a text that says commentary? No, all this is lazy, plain and simple. Skip!
Hello YouTubers.
Oh shit! We got some hashtag white borders matter here. This is crazy.
Oh great, another one of these.
You brought it upon yourself, Joshua. You brought it upon yourself. You are the one at fault here. Oh, and as a side note, could you not have emoted that last sentence a little bit better? I mean, come on.
Look, I will admit that some of her claim is valid.
Some.
That's all I have to say. And apparently she doesn't like harsh criticism.
What? No, she even says that she thinks harsh criticism isn't bad in the video. And you even play that part.
Well, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm deciding to change up the schedule a bit and make a commentary. Now before I begin, I would like to point out that my video is made under the intention to help, and while I might seem harsh with my criticism, I believe that telling harsh truth is better than saying a sugar-coated lie.
Remember when you got on my case on being harsh?
No, I really don't. Maybe because the video has just begun and she didn't say anything about you yet? Unless she said something about you elsewhere, which if that's the case, you failed to present to your audience.
Well, the reason why I got on your case is because some of what you said I found problems with. This is what I like to call popcorning the kettle black. You can use harsh criticism on me and that's fine, daddy. But when I use it, it's bad? I mean, sure, you might not be able to handle backtalking, but you can at least try to take the harshness. There was criticism. I just think you don't handle it very well. I could try to be a little more mature, but if you're not, I will strike the other cheek. I mean, in your own words, you think harsh criticism is better than a sugar-coated lie. All I'm saying is, do unto others as others do unto you. You can still criticize, just be careful who you're criticizing.
I am incredibly confused. Is there like some kind of backstory between these two? Because I can't find any. What are you even talking about right now? When did she ever say that you couldn't be harsh? I mean, you placed this entire interjection before she even mentions you for the first time. How does this make any sense? Oh, and also, why do your unchanging avatar pictures always black out before your point is done? Stop that. It's confusing.
For the MLP reviewer, you review something MLP related, I review it. And this is my partner, Shavity Pony. Today we're going to be taking a look at Doodletones 2 review of Rainbow Rocks.
I'm sorry, what was that?
For the MLP reviewer, you review something MLP related, I review it.
Wait, play it again.
For the MLP reviewer, you review something MLP related, I review it.
No, God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Must resist urge to criticize. Oh, I've already jumped in, might as well swim to the bottom. Your voice acting is so muffled and difficult to hear that it took me rewatching the clip 7 times just so I could make out the first sentence.
Who are you directing this to?
Yeah, that's incredibly hard to figure out considering she put it on the screen during her segment while she was speaking. Oh, and why don't you show this to us via screenshot? Just putting it on the screen like that is confusing as all hell.
If it's me, then okay, I can see what you're trying to say. Could have caught it sooner if I was paying attention to the subtitles. If it's you, I could hear you just fine. This is bad wording on your part. Then again, you're not the only one since I had a hard time wording myself. But I at least tried to correct my wording. It seems you just didn't want to clarify.
Not really. Both Spirit Productions herself and the text she puts up on the screen word themselves very clearly. They convey exactly what they should be conveying. That Spirit Productions' audio messed up and that you're excruciatingly difficult to understand.
Welcome to Season 2 of Crappy Cartoons, and I feel like starting strong by starting with some of your requests. I may not get to all of them, and if I don't get to one, don't fret. They'll be pushed into a vault until I take one out and review it. So, what have I chose to review to kick off 2016? Why a full-length review of a full-length movie to a show I covered 4 times last year? And if you guessed My Little Pony, congratulations, you know what movie I chose to review, and you know me well enough to make a connection. Let me make this clear. Despite the fact I have reviewed this show 4 times, it has a 1 out of 4 good episode rating to me, so obviously I am not a brony. Aside from the pilot, which was meh, and the 4 episodes I reviewed, and this one, are the only things I've seen of My Little Pony. I bring this up because this is going to be vital later in the review, and we'll get there when we get there.
Spoiler, she didn't do any research. Not that this is a bad thing, so it's kind of funny for people to not get it if it's entertaining.
Aside from the already aforementioned poor voice work here, I would like to ask, how do you know Doodle Tones didn't do their research?
Because she stated this in the video.
Welcome to Season 2 of Crappy Cartoons, and I feel like starting strong by starting with some of your requests. I may not get to all of them, and if I don't get to one, don't fret. They'll be pushed into a vault until I take one out and review it. So, what have I chose to review to kick off 2016? Why a full-length review of a full-length movie to a show I covered 4 times last year? And if you guessed My Little Pony, congratulations, you know what movie I chose to review, and you know me well enough to make a connection. Let me make this clear. Despite the fact I have reviewed this show 4 times, it has a 1 out of 4 good episode rating to me, so obviously I am not a brony. Aside from the pilot, which was meh, and the 4 episodes I reviewed, and this one, are the only things I've seen of My Little Pony. I bring this up because this is going to be vital later in the review, and we'll get there when we get there.
Okay, 1, you played way more of that clip than would be necessary. 2, not having watched a lot of My Little Pony is not the same as having done no research. There are other means of doing research, you know.
Not to mention we talked on Skype and she admitted that she didn't do any research. Though she did look up Final Scratch, which hurt the lack of research trope, at least in my opinion. It probably would have helped if she said, I will try to do this with little to no research. This can justify the vinyl part. Yeah, I could have brought it up sooner, but it's better late than never.
Because clearly, a Skype discussion between you and Doodle Tones is something that Spirit Productions will know about. Not to mention that you don't show us any evidence for this. While the point you're trying to make here isn't even wrong, as Doodle Tones mentions in her commentary on that same video of yours, you completely fail at delivering.
For one, it is not required for a reviewer to watch the entirety of the series to do their research, and the fact that they've tolerated watching the show and reviewed it enough times to get a proper feel of the material makes your unscripted statement seem uninformed at best and ignorant at worst.
If I did say this isn't a bad thing if they can make this entertaining. Oh wait!
Which in turn makes the entire point at the beginning of your old video pointless. Oh, and Spirit Productions' point was that the fact that you even think she has done no research is ignorant, as you fail to account for the fact that Doodle has a proper feeling of the series already.
Not to mention the fact that your video seems more akin to a commentary in the fact that you're not really reviewing the reviewer, but more voicing your opinion in response to what they say. So you calling this a review of a reviewer is contradicted by your format. You lose, try again.
Unless the first sub-definition commentaries, a description of spoken account, especially on a broadcast, or an event, or a performance as it happens. Sentence for this review. Even though it's not the case, I just say in the description that I was inspired by those dudes with a hat, aka the reviewer. So basically, you just nitpick the title by not looking him up. Now, look who hasn't done research. There's probably a reason, but I want to know why you didn't. Leave it in the comment section.
No, Joshua, the fact that your video is in a different genre than you claim it is not a nitpick. And by saying it's one, you also acknowledge that it's indeed true. So screw your word definitions. You know that she's right. And even then, she was saying your video you labeled as a review wasn't one. So you just pulled out the wrong definition. God damn it.
But from Dual Tone's tone. What's so funny? Dual Tone's tone. Anyways, from Dual Tone's tone, it's not going to be entertaining.
What? Was that supposed to be a joke? I'm sorry, but the editing in that joke was so poorly timed that a snail could have gone around the world during your pauses. If you're going to attempt comedy, please improve your editing abilities or get a new software that would allow you to do more than just cut back and forth between the puppets. I use iMovie, for heaven's sake.
The whole back and forth bit is somewhat of a nitpick since it doesn't affect the speed. Sorry, your argument is invalid.
That is not how this works. A nitpick is not automatically invalid as it's still a flaw found. A small flaw, but still a flaw. And she was saying, don't do simple back and forths as an alternative way to improve your joke.
The movie starts in a cafe with some singing and arguing. The singers are our villains, the Dazzlings, Adagio, Sonata, and Aria. Not that it would matter because I can't tell the difference between the three, so unless the movie explicitly says their name, I'll just call them the blue one, the purple one, and the yellow one.
Did you even watch the movie? Because two of the characters' names get said in the movie. Except for Aria, but I digress. You better not talk badly about Sonata, otherwise you get a boot to the head.
Once again, I repeat that you have no proof that Doodle Tones didn't do their research. It is very clear that Doodle Tones had to have watched the movie, otherwise they wouldn't even know what they're talking about.
You know, watching the movie is actually doing research. I was saying she didn't do complete research. Bad worrying on my part, especially the part where I could have said the personalities to you, but by the way she said it's hard to tell if we are part of our color, means she didn't pay attention to the personalities. And personality isn't what we use for Aria and Sonata. I don't know what it is.
Did the thought never cross your mind that simple singular traits aren't personalities? Of course Doodle knows their personalities. She was just saying that they were incredibly bland. And you shouldn't have to do complete research to know the names of the main villains. And you say, did you even watch the movie in that interjection, implying that you're talking about the incomplete research, if we're going by your bullshit terms.
Twilight builds a portal that allows her to travel. I mean, we get a story behind the Dazzlings, which are basically sirens, and if you know what sirens are, you basically get the gist of the plot.
Well, according to Google, in Greek mythology, they were beautiful yet dangerous creatures that led sailors to their doom. Here they just sing the feud.
Using Google as your title reference is about as credible as saying you used Wikipedia, and makes it seem like you of all people didn't do your research.
So, doing research looks like I did do research. Now, granted, she might say if I did do research here, why did I do it now? Which is not true. It's just that I didn't word myself properly.
Her point was that Google is not only no real source, as it only tells you other pages that could be sources, but also has about as much credibility as a fanfiction, and that makes your point about Doodle not having done her research appear hypocritical. How do you keep messing this up?
Final thoughts. Spirit, while I do understand some of the situation, it just came off as half decent. Some of these things I can't do are what that made you a hypocrite.
Where was she being hypocritical? I don't remember you calling that out. Like, ever.
The rest was okay. If you're going to be doing commentaries, at least make sure you're more than half decent.
If that was what we'd be applying, then you should have stopped doing these commentaries a long fucking time ago, Joshua. Okay, final thoughts. Joshua, come on. This was absolutely terrible. You misunderstood so many points and you left me confused so many times, it's incredible. On top of that, your editing is wonky and once again you're very hard to understand. And your delivery is so unbelievably boring, I would probably be more engaged when watching an entire iceberg melt completely at 1 degree Celsius. Or at least that would be the case if I weren't amazed at how godforsakenly idiotic your points were. Seriously, you've done this for 6 years now and you've shown almost no improvement. I'm not going to tell you to leave, but I will tell you that you need to do some extreme improvement if you want to be somewhat of a respected commentator. So yeah, that's it.